My very first word was pretty. My mother told me that. Said from the back seat while we were gazing at Christmas lights just before my first birthday. Light does tend to have an effect on things, doesn't it? How color is perceived, how many years between us, brother sun and sister moon. I see the light in you, and I see my reflection. My very least favorite color is red, only because of how it makes me feel when I cannot be in control. It reminds me of blood depending on the amount of exposure to oxygen. My nature leans as it does due to exposure, and I learned helplessness as senses absorbed along the way. Somatic effects, recollection, and extreme environmental disequilibrium could cause imbalances. At least that is what I read in my psych class text. My first name is Sarah, means princess. At least that's what my father called me. I've changed it a few times thanks to those circumstances and chromosomes and whatever else I needed to learn along the way. Name calling can also cause an effect on science, Simon says. Simon says this color is called sinful. What's keeping souls from making it to heaven? I heard some call that truth, presenting as some dependent on facts. If I call this holy ground, would you take your shoes off? I'm Sarah Yvonne, and this is Grace Ragland Hyde, our partner, and from Esprit Arts, and we are also part of Ballet Esprit Conservatory. This is a project that we were commissioned by the Hunter Museum for this beautiful exhibit, and so honored that you would have us. Thank you, Hunter. But I'd like to start out our Q&A with a moment of silence to honor our friend's life, Silas Herndon. And I'd like to dedicate this piece to him and his life. So if you will just bear with me for just a moment. I'm just honored to exchange energy with this moment. Thank you. And if anyone relates to the piece and having to do with Silas and his life, and you're moved, please visit the Trevor Project and support the LGBTQ community. You can find the Trevor Project link through my Facebook account. Again, I'm Sarah Yvonne. You can follow us on social media. That link to his service is out there as well, if you're interested. So, got through that part. I just want to open up to all of you for question and answer about the piece, about anything that you're interested in having to do with tonight's event. So, and I will hand you the mic.
Was this a joint, did you choreograph this together? Was it one of you, or was it a joint collaboration? That's a good question.
So this, I typically do more joint choreography, and this is kind of the first time that I've just sanctioned a time and a commission to myself. So I would say this is probably like 99.9% mine, with the addition to the personal artists that I've worked with. I got to spend the week prior to this in St. Louis with an artist residency with 2 other dancers for the Space Station Project, and that is a nonprofit organization specifically for new experimental choreographers. And so it's been a work in progress for the last week and a half or so. Thank you. Yes?
What is the significance of the red?
Specifically the red?
Yeah.
Well, I was gifted a red suit when, and immediately when the commission was about shoes, I thought of the red shoes from Hans Christian Andersen. And within the same week, I received this outfit, so I was like, guess what, we're going red.
Can you mention, for anybody who doesn't know the story from Hans Christian Andersen about the red shoes?
So the red shoes, yeah. So the red shoes is, it's complicated, but in a nutshell, a ballet dancer longing to be the best of the best and goes through a series of, going from lower class ballerina to the highest level of ballerina, and she chooses a red pair of shoes out of vanity over a husband, basically. And she gets attached to these red shoes, and this puppeteer who made the shoes puts a spell on the shoes, and she can't take them off. And she ends up having to have her feet amputated so that she can go to heaven, because the red shoes are too provocative, and how dare she wear red to heaven, and she won't be allowed in heaven in red shoes. It's a dark one.
I like the way that tied into how once you had the red shoes on and you took it all the way up, that it was, part of like enslavement to dance in a kind of way.
Yes, and I find that whatever hobby or activity or passions that we have, we can easily get absorbed into them when they were meant to just support us and support our own voice, how we can become enslaved to them. But they're there to support us, and they're there to heal us and to love us through the life that we've been given. And I'm so grateful for what I know, and I'm so glad that I have a supportive arts community around me that can keep me in check. And this is really a personal reflection. This is not a piece about two different people. This is about me and the other parts of me that keep me awake at night.
How did you come up with the music you decided to use, or Creep?
Thank you.
Red shoes,
Yes.
I love it all.
Yeah, well, this is also another one of those full circle wild energy exchange things. I went to see Danielle Ponder in concert. She opened for, George Clark Jr., Gary Clark Jr. It's one of those two. Sorry. But she sang Creep live, and my heart just completely broke, and I couldn't get it together emotionally. And afterwards, I got to see her and talk to her and explain to her I was moved. Is this normal? No, she was like, no, you're just a weirdo. And I was like, touche. But so I ended up using that piece, and isn't it gorgeous? Oh, isn't it gorgeous? And then when Silas passed, one of his songs, his favorite song from his song list, like his playlist, was Creep. Oh. Yeah, and this happened, we found out the news the day of the opening of the show. The day, like that morning. So everything just flowed. And then Let's Dance, where did that come from? I think the red shoes is mentioned in it, and I just Googled it, songs with red shoes in it, and Let's Dance came up, and there it was. And then we wanted to elongate the program as much as we possibly could, so we thought, wouldn't it be interesting to change up the whole vibe and slow everything down? And we love the sounds of the crackling of the radio and the record player and all of that. So that's where all of it came from. Yeah.
So the changing of your shoes, does that symbolize that's symbolic of how it makes you feel and put on different shoes?
Yeah, and kind of the story of my life. I'm a director, so I'm always in my director outfit. And at the end of the day, when I'm, going to bed and putting myself, I need to just be human and do human things. So I started barefooted. And then the dream began, which was kind of just my idea of how to process the content of the piece. And I wake up and I don't know what to do because I'm naked and I don't have any shoes on, and it's a nightmare. And so part of me is like, well, use what you have, use your tools. Okay, so my tools start, as a ballet dancer, you start in the flat shoes, and then you graduate to the point shoes. So that was the progression. And then she had on red as well, and I was just like, I want that power. I need that. But she said, let me deflect and let's just go back to our tools. But eventually the tools ran out, and I got really greedy because of all the pain and suffering. I thought I deserved it, the red shoes. So I ended up getting sucked in. We try to put some humor into this stuff because it's so dark too, so it's nice to have a laugh. Thank you.
At first, when I was considering this piece, I didn't think of myself as Sarah. I thought of myself as like the puppeteer, separate part of her. But as I like learned more about Sarah's story and we talked more about it, it's like, no, like we're one, and it's a relationship that you have with a passion or a hobby or an art or a craft or something that you love. And this is just like telling the story of like this struggle of extremes, where it's like you can be very self-deprecating, but then also self-exalting, and like you can scare yourself even. And I think there's a lot of moments in this where I'm like, oh my goodness, what have I just done? I gotta solve this problem. So I'm gonna, cope with humor, or I'm gonna give her something else that she's gonna take. And I think it's this relationship. It's kind of what all of us go through to some extent with something that we love.
And then at the end was the final scene, the resolution of having peace within.
Yeah, I felt that it was like a self-forgiveness and a self-acceptance, and like a finding going back to a neutral place, a place of peace. No matter what you've been through, to be able to, in your mind and in your heart, come back to a calm place, a peace place.
So there's a lot of pretty things within the context of what you just saw, but there's a lot of ugly things too. And I find the beauty of within the darkness. Again, the light. I talked a lot about the light in my poem. Because of the darkness, there's so much light.